Today's lesson is a review of division. Moving on to our next unit, Unit G, this is multiplication and division of fractions. So we're going to be building off of your knowledge of multiplication and division from our past units. So today's video we're going to talk all about dividing whole numbers, not fractions. It's just going to be like a review. Alright, so while we're going through this video, please remember to write down any notes in your math notebook to help you do the quiz later. So we're going to start with our vocabulary. Alright, so first we have whole numbers. Whole numbers are just our regular numbers from 1 all the way up to infinity, not the fractions. Remember, a fraction is smaller than a whole number. A quotient is basically like your answer to a division problem. It's when you are dividing a number by another number, the number that you get after you do the dividing is the quotient. The dividend is the number that is being divided. So I'm going to draw a little example here. If I have 12 divided by 3, we all know that 12 divided by 3 is 4. So my dividend would be 12 because that's the number that is being divided. My divisor is the 3 because that is the number of times that this 12 right here is being divided. So I have 12, I'm going to split it into groups of 3. And then remember our quotient is this 4. So when I have 12 and I split them into groups of 3, I can put 4 in each of the groups. And then a remainder is anything that's left over. So it's not a whole number, it's something less than that. We know that remainders can be interpreted as fractions, as decimals, and sometimes we even put on our division problems, like if we have a remainder, we'll put R1. Because we know we have a remainder of 1, not enough to make a whole number. Alright, so first we're going to practice dividing using mental math. So I want you to take less than 20 seconds to try to go through these 4 problems and divide these mentally. Alright, ready? Go! Alright, let's see what you got. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 45 divided by 9 is 5. 36 divided by 4 is 9. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. So those were some basic facts. Hopefully you were able to get those in that 20 seconds. Good job. Alright, so what happens when we have a number that is not just a basic fact that we have to divide? So right now, right here, we have this problem, 396 divided by 3. Now, we taught you multiple strategies on how to figure this out. You could draw circles and divide those 369 somethings into 3 different circles, but I'm pretty sure we'd be here for a while. We also could do area model, we could do break apart, we could do the standard algorithm, which is like the old-fashioned way. So before we do any of that stuff, I just want you to look at those numbers, 396 divided by 3, and tell me if you can think of how we can solve this a very quick and easy way. Just take a second and think about it. Alright, so if you have thought about this for a minute and you said, wait a minute, 3, 9, 6, those are all factors of 3, then you were correct. So right now I have this number, 396. And I know that 3, 9, and 6 can all be divided by 3. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I know that 396 divided by 3 is 132. Another way I could solve this is if I broke it apart. 390 and 6. And let me divide those by themselves just to check my work. 300 divided by 3 is 100. 90 divided by 3 is 30. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So when I add all those numbers together, I get 132. Don't you wish they were all that easy? Alright, so right here we have Division Man. And so we use Division Man, especially when we're doing standard algorithm for division. Division Man helps us remember the steps that we need to do in order to solve the problem. So first we divide, then we multiply, subtract, and bring it down. So let's practice a problem just to make sure that you're understanding Division Man and that you didn't forget all those skills that we taught you. We have 1,598 divided by 5. Alright, so we're going to go through the process here with Division Man. I'm going to solve part of this with you, and we'll see if you didn't forget all those wonderful division skills that we learned a couple of units ago. Alright, so my first step is to divide. So I'm going to take my 5 here, this is my divisor, and I'm going to see how many times it can go into my dividend. Well, I don't want to do the whole number. I'm going to start with place values. So first I'm looking here at my highest place value. 5 cannot go into 1 because 5 is a bigger number. So I have to look to my next place value. Can 5 go into 15? Yeah, 5 can go into 15 and it actually goes in 3 even times. My next step is to multiply. So I'm going to take my 3 times 15. When I do 3 times 15, I get 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. My next step is to bring it down. I'm going to bring down my 9. 5 can go into 9. Remember, I'm doing my division. 5 can go into 9 one time. My multiplication step is next. So I'm going to do 1 times 5, which is 5. Subtract 9 minus 5, and I get 4. And then I bring it down. Bring down that 8. Alright, so 5 can go into 48. Let me think about this for a second. Well, I know that 5 times 9 is 45. So I'm going to put a 9 here. So 9 times 5 is 45. And if I subtract those, I get a remainder of 3. And I know that 3 is my remainder because there's nothing left here to bring down. And 5 cannot go into 3. So my answer is 319, remainder 3. Alright, so we have 3,425 divided by 4. So the first thing we look at to see is 4 into 3. Can 4 go into 3? Think about it for a second. Ready? No, it cannot. 4 cannot go into 3 because 4 is bigger. But so then I look to my next place value. Can 4 go into 34? Think about it for a second. Why, yes it can. So 4 into 34 is 8. I know that it can go in at least 8 times. So remember, Division Man said divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Alright? So I divided. I know that I tried to fit 4 into 34, so that's division. Now I multiply. 8 times 4. I take my 8 here and multiply it by 4. 8 times 4 is 30. Oops, sorry. 32. Now my next step is to subtract. 34 minus 32 is 2, and then I bring it down, bring down my next number. So I have a 2 here, so I'd bring it down, I get 22. Now we just repeat the process. Go ahead, pause the video, solve the rest of this problem on your own, come back to me when you're ready. Alright, let's solve the rest of this problem and so that you can check your work. Alright, so we brought down our 2 to get 22. 4 can go into 22 5 times, because 4 times 5 is 20. Now I subtract. 22 minus 20 is 2, and I bring down the 5. Now I have 25. Alright, how many times can 4 into 25? Well, I know 4 times 6 is 24. That's probably the most that I can get it in, so I know I'm going to have a 6 here. 4 times 6 is 24. I'm running out of room here. 25 minus 24 is 1, and I have nothing left to bring down, and 4 can't go into 1, so I know I'm going to have a remainder. I have a remainder of 1. So my final answer here is 856 with a remainder of 1. Is that what you got? Great job. Alright friends, now it's time to show what you know. Show off what you've learned, all that knowledge in your brain. Go to Canvas and take the quiz. Try your best and take your time. See you tomorrow.